How now, brown cow? How now, brown cow? How now, brown cow? Man, if the Suns don't win tonight, I'm going to have like a sports migraine all day long tomorrow. I just don't want...
It's Sports Center. Sounds just like it. It's Sports Center. Let's see. Oh, yeah, I like the background. It's fantastic. I like that. It's a little change up. Good stuff. Got to work on the old thumbnail later on. So we're going to look at the camera and smile.
Freeze that.
And we're...
Pause. Count it. All right.
I hope it picks up that one.
Probably not. It'll probably get us like halfway through and, picking my nose and picking at your butt.
On Sunday was my brother-in-law's birthday. My brother-in-law's birthday on Sunday or whatever. We were at his house, and all of the my son's cousins were there, and I was talking about Loki, and one of them hadn't seen the third episode yet. I felt like such an a-hole.
Oh no!
Because I just blurted out. I blurted out theories, and it turns out I blurted out theories, and I said this is why they're not. That's why they're not gonna work. And I think we talked about it briefly too in the episode 3 review. So
yeah,
I think we should be fine. But I can't wait until we talk about episode 4. Whew. Yeah. It's just getting crazier. It's getting better. I'm gonna love this episode.
I can't believe you watched in 2 parts.
No, what I do is I watched it up to 20 minutes, but I restarted the entire thing. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna watch it full in its entirety.
I was just thinking of that
because honestly, the first 20 minutes,
where
I wasn't paying
would
attention.
you have stopped? Oh, you were on lunch. I thought you were taking a lunch break.
No, I was, but I did most of it on driving. I went to Boston Market, so I didn't have a lunch, and then
Main Street?
they weren't home for me to go home to eat lunch. Yeah, man,
how is the old market?
Really good food.
I love Boston Market.
Great, I love it. They're hiring, so they were a little bit slower, but there was no one in front of me, so it was good timing on that part. But
everybody's doing
they have a new
thing.
one. Yeah, I know, right? I got the new. I think it's new to them, or it's new to me anyway. The Nashville half chicken. It's like a little bit of spicy. It's like a Louisiana sauce on top of the rotisserie chicken. It's kind of hot. It's got a little kick to it. Not too much though for me, but I loved it. It was good. Got some mac and cheese on the side, some steamed veggies, and the sweet potato casserole, which was
sweet potato pie.
Sweet potato pie. It was, as Tim Allen would say, or from Home Improvement, it was good.
Delicioso.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
It was very good.
Ready to do this thing?
Yes.
As we go over Loki, A New Hope, episode 4.
Is it called A New Hope? I didn't even recognize it.
I think it's called Nexus.
Oh, because episode 4.
Yes.
Oh, I was way off. So it has to do with the Protoss. It has to do with the Protoss and their Nexus.
And I know Clementine has to find her way back to Savannah, along with Agent 47 and oh boy,
put up work thing.
Yep. Calculations. Okay. Let's do this. Good evening, everybody. This is the Movie Broview, episode number 19, going over Loki, episode number 4. I'm one of your hosts, Charzar81, and I'm here with my brother, Joshua Henderson. Josh, what's up, bro?
What up, man? How you doing? Someone's birthday's around the corner, I believe.
And that would be Pamela Anderson's birthday is tomorrow, actually. She was born on Canada Day, the old Canadian broad that she
Canada.
is.
She is Canadian.
She is Canadian.
It's like Shang-Chi.
But yeah, there is somebody's birthday. Am I sad to say that I'm already done celebrating the birthday, and I don't. That was a rough night, but we won't go in too much into that.
So here's what happened, okay, ladies and gentlemen. No, I'm just kidding. We're not gonna do that.
No, this is the Movie Broview, where two brothers give their brotherly take on movies or series from today, yesterday, and tomorrow. Again, we're going to be talking about Loki tonight. We got a little bit of Don't Be Joshin' news segment. We always are going to be doing at least our once-a-week topic, the Breview's Top 10 Royal Rumble, the birthday Breview's Top 10 Royal Rumble. We usually run this thing on a Thursday night, but we're doing it on Wednesday. Again, yes, tomorrow is July 1st, my birthday. Hitting the big 4-0, I don't feel that old, I don't know. It depends on what day you ask me. I did, friend took me out for 18 holes of golf. I felt 60. Oh my gosh. And I think it was 24 hours later, I drank like I was 20 again. Or, wait, 21. Sorry.
If I may say, for all time, always.
Nice. Very good. I like that. How on the nose you are, my brother. But yeah, this is the Movie Broview. Again, my handle is Charzar81 on Twitch, Instagram, and Twitter. And you can see this on YouTube at Joshizzle2323. He also has his stake claimed at Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, and apparently has a brand new TikTok. He's got some cool TikToks coming out all the way. TikTok, don't stop. Let your body rock. I forget the words.
All that doo-doo brown. Yes,
all
absolutely.
That jazz. Anyway, like, subscribe, and follow. I appreciate every one of those numbers who'd like to build up those numbers along the way. And give us a little hashtag Movie Broview search on Google for all access to all our stuff. Tonight, drop a comment, and I'm not. But I was gonna make a question for tonight, but that would be a huge spoiler. By the way, this episode demands a spoiler warning because there is a whole lot of stuff coming out. Again, we are doing this same day, pretty much. Try to keep up with all those big YouTubers out there. We're a small independent company that support your local company. I'm just saying. But yeah, bro. As I was saying, in pre-show, initially I was like, how are you watching half of this at once and then the other half later on? Like, this sucker gets me sucked in, and I cannot stop. And I get super disappointed when the credits hit for all these episodes.
Glad I restarted it because the way what happens, which we're going to talk about,
sure.
it made sense to restart it after watching it again.
No, totally. No, it's like a really, really good book or even a really, really good movie. You kind of lose your momentum, and if you want to pick it back up, at least for me, if I'm in a really, really good book, if I try to pick it up right where I left off, I have to kind of backtrack, a couple of paragraphs, even a couple of pages, just to get into that mind frame again, and to get in that mode or whatever. I don't know about you.
Oh, definitely with this, you have to you have to watch it multiple times just to get it. Because if you miss one thing, you might as well just restart the show. I mean, restart the episode, that is, because you need everything. And that's what Marvel does right now. Marvel Studios is that every little thing you're going to look at is going to be a connection of some kind to the current, the past, and future. So.
Yeah, I've watched this episode twice. It's like the first time we've gone into these reviews, and I've actually watched it twice, especially, like you said, the second time you watch it with a more analytical eye. So we're going to definitely dig in on this.
1 2/5 for me.
Huh? Yeah, there you go. 1.5.
2/5.
Well, we'll give you the half. But before we do that, we got a little bit of a news segment we like to call Don't Be Joshin'. And this Don't Be Joshin' segment is brought to you by my brother, Josh Henderson. Take it away, bro.
All right. Thank you, sir. So today is a special day. It's now 11 years since they made this a national holiday. We live and breathe this. It is National Social Media Day. 11 years ago, they considered this a national holiday, of course, because the average human being spends an hour and 45 minutes a day on social media. Isn't that freaking crazy? That's the average. But it kind of makes sense. Like, how often are you checking up on something with sports, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram? Oh my gosh, TikTok is addictive. I have to turn off my phone just to make sure I don't get back into it, because there's a bunch of funny stuff in there. And I'm trying to watch stuff to become creative. And by the way, speaking of social media and TikTok, I do have a live reaction of me watching episode 4. No, it's not all 48 minutes of the episode. It's a snippet of the major parts. We're going to go into those later on in just a second here. Secondly, it has been confirmed by Kevin Feige that Wong is in fact in the new movie Shang-Chi. So Kevin Feige said it. He's in it. So it's not an Asian guy who looks like him who has the same power as Wong. It has been confirmed by Kevin Feige, which I'm grateful. Feng shui. All right. Next, Chris Pratt. His new movie is coming out on Prime, Amazon Prime. So if you have Prime, you'll be able to see this. Tomorrow is War. In an interview, they asked him, what would be your last meal on Earth? He said, In-N-Out Burger. Really? But then he mentioned a casserole that his mom made, more sentimental than taste. So, but yeah, his answer is basically In-N-Out Burger. What would your last meal on Earth be, my brother?
Oh boy,
you're a superhero. You know you're not going to make it. You're saving your family, but you're going to have enough time to eat that last meal. You have any? Choose it. Whatever you want. Last meal on Earth.
I would have to take, and this is going to sound really like weird, I guess cyclical or whatever.
CC's Pizza.
No.
No, I'm just kidding.
My son's hospital when he was born, they had this little perk that they fed the mom and the dad, after he was taken out and, put in his crib and everything like that. The nurse is taking care of him and stuff. And we got filet mignon and a lobster tail, and that was probably one of the best meals I've ever had. Yeah. And fortunately for me, the missus, the wife, she didn't feel too much up to eating. So I had 2 lobster tails that evening. I'd probably go with that, to be honest. It was it was one of the best meals I've had, and it was in a hospital. So they did their due diligence. So good? Yep.
Was it so good you started singing Rock Lobster?
Yeah,
no?
I did start singing the Rock Lobster song.
Well, that's cool. I don't know what my last meal would be, but I did mention CC's and Ponchos. I would just go with both and go out in a blast, because that stuff will make you go blast a toilet. But anyway, moving right along.
Yeah, move right along.
That's been Don't Be Joshin'. I had a blast. Did you?
Sure.
Let's go with Loki now.
Yes, let's dive right into Loki season 4.
Let's keep this low key.
Let's flush that last part of that last segment away. I'm just kidding. That was good.
He is talking crap.
I am talking
Get it?
crap. No shit. Yeah, so like I said, we're diving in right now to today's topic, Loki episode 4. Gosh, like these episodes just keep getting better and better and better. Like it's kind of dumb. Like we are, if you're a fan of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, you're pretty spoiled at this point.
Marvel.
Yeah,
Marvel.
like everything is just literally it's hit out of the park. You know, I don't know if there's someone in the stands, you know, banging on a trash can trying to signal the hitter or whatever, but they are cranking everything out of the park. You know, PEDs aside. Yeah.
Change the background.
What's up? Yeah. Oh, good.
Change the
thank you.
background.
Sure, I can change that. Why not?
And that changing of the background was brought to you by the letter M. Marvel.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah. Like again, like we just keep getting to better and better episodes. You know, like it's the stories, the action is really, really good. The CG in this is just redonkulous. Like, you know, I don't want to cut corners when it comes to this episode. I almost want to do like a stem to stern edition tonight. But just some of those scenes with like the moon crashing into Lamentus 1 or whatever orbital body it is.
No, you're right. You're right.
It is just mind-boggling how real a lot of that stuff looks. They're doing a fantastic job with all the monies that they've allocated toward the visual effects in the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is not Black Widow.
What?
No. Go ahead, Cheeto. That scene where they're sitting down next to each other is in the trailer. The very first trailer you see. Everybody, including me, was like, oh my gosh, that's Black Widow. Oh, it's before she dies on that planet or whatever. Everyone thought it was Black Widow. Because of her hair is short, it's red, and she's wearing clearly black. Well, it's just dark. It's actually dark green. That's what Sylvie's wearing.
Okay.
You watched the episode twice. You have the most questionable look right now.
No. I don't see... people are literally trying to reach...
I explained it because it's a podcast.
No. Yeah, no. I mean, people are just trying to constantly reach for, like, things that are trying to reference back toward, you know, main events that occurred during the Infinity Saga. Boy, man, just stop trying to pull at all these threads, you know, enjoy the show for what it is, you know, and it's the Peggy Carter thing from, was it episode 1 that everyone's trying to, you know, reach for and clamor for. So, I don't know. Like, that was my look of derision right there, where it's just like, come on, like, you know, not every part of every, you know, piece of scenery is suggestive of.
Cheeto, they did that on purpose. You know that.
I get that.
They did it on purpose for the trailer.
I know this, and like, you know,
they got me, man. They got me.
They got you. Are you serious? Oh, come on. That's why I don't watch the trailers.
I thought.
Yep.
I thought. No, you saw the trailer. Come on. You saw the trailer. It was in the original trailer.
Yeah, but I mean, it's one of those, like, I watched it and then I forgot about it. Like, you know.
I watched it, then I looked at it again, then I studied it, and I was like, oh my gosh.
Then I paused it, then I rewinded it, watched it at half speed. No, I give credit to all those guys and all those YouTube channels out there who I'm a big fan of as well. They do their due diligence in regards to, like, you know, frame by frame analysis. But
Eric
sometimes...
Ross.
Yeah, I love that guy. I look up to that guy, and but at the same time, sometimes, man, let's just watch the thing and let the cards fall where they may. Because when you lean so hard sometimes on speculation and prediction and stuff, you get really disappointed when it doesn't come through to your expectations. Hello, the Last Jedi viewers. Hello, people who expected Mephisto to be in WandaVision. It's a lot of that stuff that, people are already trying to encroach on all these theories that they want to hold fast and hold through. Same thing I talk about in regards to the mutants. Let's not rush this thing, because the faster these things come at us and the faster they come, you lose the flavor. It's like trying to eat like a very, very nice ribeye steak, like super, super fast, and let's get out of here. Well, you missed all the the minutia of the flavors intermingling with each other, or how does this pair with this wine, et cetera, just stuff like that. I don't know. That's my little 2-cent soapbox when it comes to speculations of that kind. And that's kind of why I don't I'm kind of as excited as we were about the Shang-Chi trailer that appeared last week. Check out our reaction at Joshizzle2323. I'm kind of okay.
Instagram and TikTok.
I'm good. Oh, there you go. Yeah, I'm kind of just, I'm good now. Let's not inundate us over the next 2 months, starting next month. They will, which I say this now, but then I will be texting you, my brother, and be like, hey, have you seen this shit? Oh my God, blah, blah, blah. Asian power, we're ruling the world. Anyway, $1
million, let's go.
Filthy rich Asians, baby. Anyway, back to Loki episode 4. Since we went,
I thought it was crazy rich or dirty rich.
It was crazy rich, but
filthy rich.
Inebriated birthday Charlie called it filthy rich, and my buddy had a laugh about that. Yeah, this sucker opened up in Asgard, which was really, really cool. It was really, really cool to see, scenes from the movies again on these television shows, or streaming shows, I'm sorry. And you're seeing it from a different aspect as well. They're coming in from a different view, instead of from above the Rainbow Road, it's actually from behind, which is kind of cool. And you see little Sylvie, she's playing in the palace, and she's just chilling there. And all of a sudden, TVA agents, namely Ravonna, come in, apparently deem her a variant, and just take her away. And now...
Did you see the toy wolf?
The what? Oh, yeah.
The toy wolf?
Fenris? Yeah.
Fenrir? Yeah. Or Fenris? How you say it?
Fenris, yeah.
You know mythology way better than I do.
Yeah.
God of War, so.
Yeah. God of War is the reason. There is a great book called Mythology. Fenris is actually the son of Loki when it comes down to mythological storylines and stuff like that, which is kind of, timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly, kind of weird stuff.
Kind of loco than low-key.
Yeah, hey, nice. I like that. But, she's taken away. She goes through the what would you call that? The process. She's being processed, right. Just like
all about the process.
Loki, our Loki, Tom Hiddle Loki, and but she's this little girl, man. I'm looking forward to seeing the unveil of why they picked that time, that moment, and what actually caused her to, be a branch on the sacred timeline. Or did Ravonna go rogue for some weird reason and just decide to pluck her preemptively or whatever? I don't know. It's very what was that movie with Tom Cruise and they were time cops basically. Oh, I can't remember what that movie's called. Anyway.
Oh, Minority Report.
Minority Report. Yeah, people were being tried for crimes that.
Time Cop. Wait, that's Van Damme.
I know, right? I know. As soon as I said Time Cop, I was like, that's Van Damme, but he technically is a time cop.
Damn.
Damn, boy. He, they preemptively, did they preemptively pick her because she was slowly making her way through the course of her actions off that sacred timeline? I don't know. It's really, really weird, her origins. And when I say weird, it's just really, it's, not consistent from how everything else is gone. She was playing in the royal palace. What did she do that was so significant to cause her to be, handpicked? So I don't know. I think Ravonna has, more insight into that, especially like later on, after Sylvie's apprehended and stuff like that. She's like, "Do you remember me?" And she's like, "Yeah, I remember you," or whatever. And I think she makes mentions like, it must have been something significant for you to like, come and take me. And she's like, "Nope, it wasn't." And you can see the blood just fall out of Sylvie's face because she's like, "I don't know what I did now." Like literally, we will find out in the next, hopefully 2 episodes coming up. God, I hope they're longer. I know that we've been blessed with the fact that these are 48 to 52 minute episodes, but man, it seems like this show really, really gets going minute 30, once everything is established and going. And I just wanted to keep going. Like, stop pushing, stop on the treadmill. I just started getting to a good jog here,
Right. It's literally a hill, right?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, a literal cliffhanger, just like right there at the end of that hill. I'm like, You son of a bitch, we're done running, aren't we? I just started to sweat. You know what I mean? You son of a bitch. Dylan, you son of a bitch. But anyway.
This one we had the cliffhanger with, you don't know what happened with Loki, and we'll go into that in a minute. The previous episode, you had a moon like crashing into the planet, and you didn't know how they were going to get out of that. The episode before that, nice. The episode before that, Sylvie shows up, and then Loki jumps into the portal with Sylvie, and you don't know what happened with her, with him, or them. So it's all cliffhangers all the time. Where's Sylvester Stallone when you need him? Cliffhanger. Haven't seen that movie in a long time. Anyway.
Sylvester Stallone.
But yeah, so going forward, she was taken. She takes Ravonna's tempad. She, skedaddles out of there. And apparently you find out that that's how she's been surviving, is she had to like jump to a whole bunch of time periods and finally found her way into Apocalypse to like find an apocalyptic event. Sorry, not the apocalypse or apocalypse. She found her way to one of those events where she discovered that she could hide from the TVA, because it seems like the TVA was like had selected her or was hunting her. So, we'll see. Let me ask you a question. So when they started showing like all the moon stuff, is this how you envisioned that they were going to get out of that calamity?
I mean, that was the only way they can get out of that calamity, because they had no tempad. It was destroyed or battery dead or whatever.
And a lot of people were thinking that, yes, in the episode before, Loki had showed that the tempad was broken, but because he is the master of illusion, maybe that wasn't the real tempad. But I do like to see that like they did use like more of a, Loki with a MacGuffin like kind of coming out of nowhere. I'm very intrigued as to, just like the TVA was, the Nexus event that occurred, because there was a lot that I was reading. Again, I'd watch it twice in a row, and he is very narcissistic. So is he falling in love with himself?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, like...
Oh, yeah. Well, that's how he created that weird-looking what do you call it off the timeline? Worm hole? Worm? What do you call it? A time branch.
A branch?
Different type of time branch.
Yeah.
A branch, yeah, I guess. And it's like, instead of a straight or solid line, it's a dotted line, so to speak. You saw on that particular timeline map or whatever. It's a different type of branch they've never seen before. So, and then they find out apparently Loki's in love with Lady Loki or Sylvie. So, it kind of makes sense. You would love yourself. So, with him anyway.
On with this, like, I don't know if it's more of a, again, it goes back to, you know, what is love? Baby, don't hurt me. I can't help but going. I can't help but going to that song. Thank you, Jim Carrey. That was probably the best version of that one.
Absolutely. The movie's good though.
Yeah.
Night at the Roxbury is really good. I like it.
No.
Emilio.
No.
You don't like it?
No, to be honest, it's been so long since I've seen it. I won't, you know, pass judgment. I don't remember liking it too much. I do remember like it was funny or whatever, like watching it at the time.
It's funnier now than it was back then, by the way.
Not sure how much it holds up, but you know, to each his own.
Very well.
But yeah, no one in that entire place. They were trying to search for the variants. Hunter B-15, she's all in this weird kind of like mode, and Mobius is in this weird kind of like mood. They're like, you know, he had been rejected by Loki, who he had deemed his friend. You know, basically he ran out on him. B-15, she was like, you know, mind possessed by Sylvie, and so you don't know what's kind of going on with her mind, because C-20 kind of went down this weird kind of path where she's discovered that she's a variant, and so you're starting to see the cracks here.
Don't forget TK421.
Why aren't you at your post? Come on, do you copy? What was it? What is he? He had a bad. Not a bad motivator. Something about his helmet didn't work. Anyway, God, you were deviating away from the sacred timeline in this one, my friend.
I am the variant in this particular podcast.
You are forming these giant branches off this podcast, and I am the timekeepers trying to keep us in line. Yeah, so they do finally capture them, you know, finding that giant branch that just kind of like popped up out of nowhere, like this big old branch boner coming out of the sacred timeline. And the Loki prison that he is put in was pretty ingenious, because we see Lady Sif, and you know, I've always been a huge fan of hers. I want to see more of her in the MCU. I know she was in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. a couple of episodes, but she's a big part of, you know, the Thor part of the universe. So, yes, bring in more Lady Sif. But the time loop, I guess, prison that Loki is thrown in, he's basically just kicked in the nuts for cutting Lady Sif's hair off because, you know, God of mischief. And it happens over and over. And this is your football in the groin home video. Man. What?
Oh, I was thinking Mole Man gets hit in the groin by giant football.
Over and over and over. And no matter what Loki tries to do to deviate the loop, he somehow gets, you know, punched in the junk, if you will. Like, if not physically, but emotionally, because she's also, you know, speaks to him basically saying that he is all alone. Even though he is in the house where he grew up in, the house of Asgard. But she just tells him that he's all alone. And I don't know if that's, you know, he says he remembers it from his memory, so I'm pretty sure that, like, that actually really happened. But being the context behind it, especially being as to what is going on right now with him and Sylvie and being a variant in the TV and everything like that, I really think that hits harder than the kick to the junk. So Oh, but yeah, so Mobius pulls him out. They have another talk, and Loki drops the bomb on Mobius.
Going back to that time loop real quick, it reminded me of Dormammu in Doctor Strange.
Okay, sure.
The way they kept looping and looping and looping.
Sure.
It's just like, how can it be punishment,
thing.
you know? Yeah. I liked it.
Except Loki was getting punished this time rather than...
punishing the villain,
Yeah, there was no punishment of the villain. The villain was being punished in this point.
I guess you could say Loki did not come to bargain.
Nice. But yeah, the bomb that gets dropped is that Mobius is a variant. And again, the cracks are starting to appear in these steadfast characters, the always, followers of the TVA are now starting to question their existence, which is pretty interesting. Like the claim is that these are variants. They've all been taken. They've all had their mind erased, and they're working under the TVA. They weren't created by the TVA. They used to live somewhere else. You see Mobius start to question this. You see especially B-15 start to question this. There's a lot of questioning around these characters. Even the C-20, we find out that she's dead now. She's the guard who was like, it was all real or whatever, and she was like going through like a mind warp or whatever. But B-15, like, I guess she wants to get down to brass tacks and find out what the heck is going on, and like basically drag Sylvie back to the hurricane. And I guess, so did she do that because that wouldn't deviate the sacred timeline, and she just wanted to have like a heart-to-heart with Sylvie about what was going on in her head? Like, I thought it really curious if that was the setting of where she wanted to talk to her.
Well, I mean, that's what she wanted, because that is where she saw the supposed, she thought, made-up memory.
Yeah. And
Sylvie straight up told her, no, I don't make those up. This is inside your brain that's been erased. So,
yeah.
When she realized that moment when she realizes, oh my gosh, she has her eyes shut because she's in the memory. I'm happy. Like, wow, I know it's such a simple word, but that moment is so powerful, because the rest of your life, you're just catching variants day in, day out. You're just like, even though you're an authority, you're nothing. You're just a pawn.
Yeah. Even earlier, she was like, I'm just doing my job. You're like, really? This is your job, huh? It kind of makes you wonder, like, even like when they later on, like, close the case or whatever, and Mobius was like, yeah, I'm tired, I've been hanging out with Loki's way too much. Where do they go? Do they go back to the office? Do they go into some...
They go to the cafeteria that has no kitchen and eat another salad.
Yeah. He needs to go and get like his rightful salad that doesn't have all the salt and pepper in it, and
salt and soda and stuff like that.
Yeah, and soda that's all up in it. He needs to get his right salad going. Oh, that's awesome. I totally forgot about that. So yeah,
kind of proves they're human, It kind of proves they're human. Like, they get tired, they want to drink, they want to eat, they need to sleep, etc. Even though time does move differently.
Sure.
And the whole jet ski thing is probably going to happen, like we talked about. So,
I mean, that's definitely made reference during this episode that we're leading up to in just a second. Yeah, I get Mobius keeps asking to. I was gonna say interrogate the Sylvie, but Ravonna just keeps like telling him no, this is not, this is for your own good, I'm trying to protect you. I've seen too many people, taken by Sylvie. I don't want you to be one of them either, like she's definitely pulling this weird, like, overprotective, cloak over Mobius's facade, but at the same time, it's just like it's too much a little bit. It's like she's definitely in this weird, like, I'm trying to cover something up. And you see, like, again, like the cracks are appearing in the dam with like trust issues between the main characters in the TVA, and Mobius pulls the old switcheroo with the temp pads. And so I guess, he's damned and determined to find out about C20. He keeps asking about her, and she keeps avoiding the question, but you come to find out, that she really didn't lose her mind as hardcore as Ravonna was claiming she would. And I guess you found out in that video that Ravonna was pretty much behind it all, Like she was the one doing the interrogate.
That temp pad is so technologically advanced, but it's so not.
It is a game. It is a Game and Watch game, and I want one of those so bad. We kept looking at it. We kept looking at him like, man, that like you need to put a little Super Mario Land on that thing, or a little Wario Land on there.
Oh yeah, you're talking about yeah.
It was like a little like an old classic DS or whatever. But yeah,
DS Lite.
We segue back to Loki, and again, Tom Hiddle Loki. I'm sorry, and he is again in that weird time loop, whatever. Getting kicked in the junk over and over again, and all of a sudden Mobius comes in, and Mobius is like, "Dude, do you want to be alone for the rest of your life?" He keeps telling him. There's comical moments, but there's serious moments in there. First he tells him to shut up, and then he's asking him questions. He's like, "Why aren't you talking?" He's like, "You told me to shut up." But he is trying to basically say, "Hey, Loki, you can make your life whatever you want it to be." It's almost like he's trying to unshackle like the mental blocks that have been put in his head during this entire experience. Lokis are always losers. Lokis never come out on top, etc., etc. And because I think after discovering what went on with C20, and just again all the peppering that Loki has been doing throughout the course of this episode, Mobius is now on Loki's side. Like, he understands that the TVA is no good. It is all a lie. It is all a facade. And they break out, and all of a sudden, Ravonna's there. And I honestly thought he was going to get away with the standoff. He was like, yeah, we switched this thing, and, sorry about that. I just found out about that when he was down here. And like you said earlier, here's where the jet ski mention comes back up.
I'm waiting for Mobius to say, "Wow." That is going to be the biggest moment of this show.
Wow.
It's sad to say, but so true.
Yeah, he hasn't done that, has he?
No, he's not, but it's going to happen. It's got to happen. Yeah, it's got to, man.
It'll be the last portion where he's on a jet ski. He's like, wow.
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 But yeah, like earlier in the episode when they had closed the case, Ravonna was asking, saying, hey, you have all time and in any place, where would you want to be? Whatever. And at first he brushes it off by saying, like, I can go anywhere and anytime right now. She's like, you know what I'm talking about. Do you think he knew that was it for him? Because like it was like all of a sudden he kind of made this weird stand by calling back to that question.
Oh yeah,
basically
that was it.
Declaring that yes, he knows that he's a variant, but he wants to have that like little flit of memory kind of like course through his brain as they are about to prune him, which that's a horrible term, by the way.
Wow.
You shall be pruned.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's something like the King of the Conqueror would say.
Something complete.
You will be pruned.
That is the worst. That's the worst line in the history of lines ever. Not saying what you said was
Conqueror can
bad,
say
but
it.
like that would be so weird for Kang the Conqueror to say that.
You
Pruned.
will be pruned in time. What?
What? Yeah.
The way they, I guess, kill or prune him, whatever you want to say, is he dead? We'll find out later on, because it just seems like you don't get killed. I guess I don't know.
You're
because you just disappear. You know what I mean?
So my understanding is that, and like again, like I talked with the wifey about this, I talked with the coworker about this, and I was like, my understanding is that you don't die. You are taken back to almost that moment of where you deviated. You know, you became a variant in that sacred timeline. So wherever he is now, he's being taken back to that point in time where like the choice was made that caused him to go toward that variant path. It's like that cartoon with the guy that was running sideways and all of a sudden he wanted to take this path. And I guess the pruning is him being pulled back. You know, that existence is no longer on the timeline, and he just goes flowing back and through the sacred timeline. I don't know. Strangeness. Well, then, you know, we're getting to like dire circumstances here because like Mobius, you know, was pruned. That was a horrific moment, by the way. Like, again, it's.
Did you see Loki's face? How sad he was.
Oh my gosh,
pruned?
yeah. Like, you know, they came to this weird understanding before they went through the portals back to the TVA. He was like, I can't believe I'm doing this with a Loki. He's like, oh, or you could be doing this with a friend. And like, I almost want to believe that he is very sincere and like, you know, I know that I'm Loki, I'm a loner, but Mobius is kind of like a friend that he's made throughout his variant travels, in kind of a way that he is with Sylvie. Like, he has a lot of adoration for Sylvie. Again, a narcissist has a lot of adoration for oneself. For Mobius, you know, he sees someone that like who's matched him wit for wit, tit for tat, tete-a-tete, and how can he not endear himself to that? But yeah, after that, so like, you know, they've talked it up throughout all the episodes, you know, a lot of theories going out, you know.
Wow.
Oh, these guys they're not real people. They're just, you know,
sure enough,
mentions. So they go down the elevator again, you know, and they open it up and we see the timekeepers finally. Like, we are now entering into a realm where like, okay, the TVA has basically looked like a 70s, you know, cop procedural, to be honest. Like, there's a lot of paper pushing, there's a lot of file searching, a lot of old technology.
Wow.
But now, like, we're in, like, okay, who are these temporal guys on these thrones? Again, guys who are sitting down, very much like Thanos, but looking down upon the minions. And, you know, they're up there in their celestial bodies or whatever, and they're like, oh, Loki, ha ha ha, you know, like, how dare you speak? You were a cosmic mistake, yada, 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 yada.
You are nothing but a cosmic disappointment.
Yeah. I had to put on the subtitles because the walrus looking guy, I had no clue what the heck he was saying.
I know. It's just a put on his solo.
I know. Mighty Chewbacca.
Like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Did we get the wrong audio in this?
Seriously, like, I was like, what are you saying? So I had to rewind it and check that out. But no, there's
Leia was chained. It was weird. Yeah.
Why are you here? Oh, Carrie Fisher's alive! Yay!
Oh man, that's
bad.
Oh.
Anyway, they basically passed judgment. You know, they're like, you know, they won't. And, you know, Sylvie's honestly, she's on point for all of this. She's like, you're not here to kill us or whatever. You're like, you're here because, you know, we're here basically because you fear us. And, like, I get that, you know, like, these these timekeepers have never really, like, I guess throughout the history of everything before, maybe I guess after the time wars or the timeline wars occurred, they've never really been challenged. You know, they've been able to like circumvent, and according to their history, you know, the victors write the histories, not the Secret Wars, not that.
I know.
The Beyonder has yet to be mentioned in this.
It's beyond me.
Nice. But they've never really been challenged by anyone, you know. They've got their subservient, you know, we've now come to the acceptance that yes, these are all variants, and you know, I don't even know what Ravonna is, to be honest, anymore. So they start this huge fight, you know. Ravonna gets into the mix. So you see Loki, you know, throwing down. Heck, B-15. She's the one who actually started all this, because she freed them of their collars, their chokers, and
for all time, always.
And at first I was like, oh sweet, they can use magic, but I guess you can't use magic here or whatever. Ravonna can't control them with that time lapse remote control, which I still think is probably one of the most innovative ways to control a prisoner. Like, you know, if they're running away from you, you just rewind them right back to like point Z, and you're just like, oh, do you have a good run? You can run again. But yeah, they go to town. They're all like, the Lokis come out victorious. You know, it's all good. Now we're gonna get some answers from the timekeepers. Here we go. It's time. Here comes the big, the monologue explanation by the bad guy. But Sylvie's like, no, screw that. She takes that sword and chunks it right at the middle one. And I swear, as soon as I saw the impact, I knew something wasn't right. Because it went clang. Clang? Did you say clang? Still one of my favorite.
Dr. Doom bots.
Yeah, pretty much. Still one of my favorite lines from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle cartoon. Yeah, and you see Spark.
Oh, I remember it clang. Yes.
Weird stuff started going on. So she decapitates the dude in the middle's head. The head's rolling around. The two other guys start laughing, I guess. Did you hear that? Yeah, they were just like, I couldn't tell if they were like, you know, laughing because they were laughing, or they were laughing and they were like physically shorting out, because, you know, it's always the middle one. You always go for the middle head.
It was right. It was the same laughter you hear in Independence Day when they put in the virus.
Oh, it's not it's not the Predator laugh at the very end of Predator.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Basically, Billy's laugh.
Same laugh, right?
And so
seems like it.
Now again, we're this far into the rabbit hole, and it goes even deeper now, because now it's like, okay, so who created the TVA? Who created the who created the timekeepers? You know, we're all pointing at Kang the Conqueror. I'm waiting for some dumb reveal where it's like
MODOK.
It's either no way, can't be MODOK.
No, I'm just saying something stupid would be like, MODOK, wait a minute, aren't you
like,
on Hulu? No.
Like the secret ending of Silent Hill 2, where he busts in and it's a dog working all these controls in the back. I'm literally waiting for some just dumb reveal. I don't think it's going to be like that, just because we've now gone down a road where the payoff has to be big. Like, you know,
Josh Brolin's Cable.
WandaVision. Josh Brolin's Cable. Wow. WandaVision, you know, through all intents and purposes, like, I liked Agatha Harkness, but not the big, like, you know, knockout reveal that a lot of us were hoping for. Falcon Winter Soldier, kind of the same thing too. Lady Hydra was there, but she really didn't do anything. And the broker, being Agent 13, really didn't punch everybody out. I want this to be a Sagat Tiger uppercut, ultra combo, finish him, fatality
tiger.
Of an ending with, yes, Kang the Conqueror being like, yep, this is all me, bro. What's up?
He's going to turn and he's going to smile. That's it. That's it, bro.
Is that what all the major baddies do? They just turn and smile.
And then he'll do a similar cameo as he did. Hold on. He'll do a similar cameo that Thanos did in Guardians of the Galaxy 1. That he'll do that in the Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. He'll do the same thing. He'll be in it, but it will be the final version of him, and then you won't see Kang until another at least 6, 7, 8 movies, judging by, or also including series. So you'll probably see Kang the Conqueror for real, like Thanos. Let's see here, 2025.
I mean, he's going to be in Ant-Man and Wasp, right? Isn't that?
Yeah, it's confirmed.
Next year?
Nope, it is February 17th, 2023. Mm-hmm.
Well, there you go. I mean,
there you go.
I can wait that long. We've still got, again, Wanda to take care of because she's going to kind of...
Shang-Chi, Eternals, Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, Thor, Black Panther, Marvels, and then Ant-Man.
Yep. We've got several, baddies coming along the way. But if that reveal of the Timekeepers being... did you get... Before we move on, you know what the wifey said? It was a very Wizard of Oz moment, she said.
Yeah, I can see that with the color and the fog and
all this pomp and circumstance and these 3 figureheads and ha 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 ha.
The flying monkeys.
Yeah, I mean the TVA agents could be considered flying monkeys. That's very interesting. That's an interesting way to approach the analysis of this show. Loki's trying to follow the yellow brick road all the way home, right?
Yep, and each doorway is yellow.
Did you see what was about to occur after that?
After they beheaded the fake TVA or whatever, and then
Sylvie is at a loss. Loki, I can't tell, but I can't tell if he's like gonna embrace her.
I'm gonna tell
her I love you, or tell her everything's gonna be okay. It doesn't matter, because all of a sudden a hole starts to appear in his chest, and he is pruned, man. He's pruned. I don't know. Oh my gosh, that part shocked me. Because one, I was like, oh God, that's it? Like, there's 2 more episodes of Loki.
On TikTok and Instagram.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, I was just like, no, wait, no. And then...
I was like this, again?
Sylvie is pissed off, again, it's weird because Ravonna wants it. She's like, go ahead and do it. Go ahead and finish me or whatever. She's like, no. You're going to tell me everything. So my theory on episode 5 already is how Ravonna got to where she came from. Because it seems like the last several episodes have started with, hey, this is where this person was in episode A. Let's show you where they came from, though, in episode B. Ravonna...
She's dating Kang.
Well, yeah, no, we definitely know in the comic books that she is the love interest of Kang the Conqueror. How they go about that here, we'll see. They wouldn't pick that specific person though if Kang the Conqueror were not involved. You know what I mean? They would just named her somebody else or a judge, whatever. that they specifically Renova. They specifically picked her as, I guess, the main antagonist currently, because the Timekeepers are nothing.
She's your Agatha.
Yeah, pretty much. She's your Agatha Harkness going about.
Agatha.
But like a lot of the movies that we endear ourselves to, like especially in the MCU, we go to credits. You know, people are like, "What?" and like they're rushing to their phones and like they're already trying to see like you know people who are picking apart these episodes left and right, and the lady starts singing, and all of a sudden we come back and we appear Loki. He's just chilling in the field. He was like, "Is this hell? Am I dead?" And then you hear
H-E-L, by the way.
Yeah,
your
I
subtitles
saw that.
on.
I totally saw that. Yeah. He's like, "Is this hell? Am I dead?" He's like, "No, but I forget what they said now." It's coming up to this huge crescendo. Basically, it's one of those like, you will be unless you come with us. It's like the famous Sarah Connor lines. Come with me if you want to live. And we see these lovely characters who are the new background pop up. And my mind went completely bananas, explosion. Like, I was like, no freaking way.
The guy on the right's like, I just came from a cosplay. I'm not even Loki, okay?
I've seen that actor in several like sci-fi movies. I remember him in Logan, honestly, to be perfectly honest. He's never been like the head honcho top guy. But we do have Loki as he appeared first in comics. It was in Tales of Suspense. And then we have boastful Loki on the left, who appears to have what looks like Mjolnir, or his version of Mjolnir, that he can wield, which is kind of cool. In the center, we definitely have Kid Loki. And then Croc-a-Loki.
Croc-a-Loki.
Crack-a-lack. Yeah, I'm like, is that from the Spider-Ham verse or the mighty?
Probably. Probably.
Was it when Thor was a frog? Why not?
No, that's a good reference.
So Multiverse of Madness was definitely something that was coined, obviously when the rundown for Phase 4 was coming.
Well, no, I forgot to tell you, I mentioned, you said the crocodile or whatever. Remember Loki shapeshifts into a snake and scares Thor. That's what they talked about in the past, remember?
Yeah. But that's a crocodile.
I know, and
I get what you're saying.
They are both reptiles and they're both animals. Okay, just making sure I get a reference in there or two. So
okay, I get you. But yeah, the word madness we're slowly wrapping our head around because everything is about. I got a feeling everything is about to pop off. Like nobody's business. Heck, it's the 4th. It's the 4th of July around the corner. Why not? Multiverse, man. It's so weird because like I knew about this as a comic book reader, a decade ago, several decades ago, and the idea that people are accepting of this in movies and in TV shows just blows my ever-loving fanboy mind. That my coworker, who is a mom of 2, She is a Christian-loving, woman, married, you know, watches sitcoms for a living, watches, nice, wholesome shows, and she's into this. And she's coming to me for, like, what does this mean? Who is this guy? Is this from the comics? Da-da-da-da-da. I'm like, man, there ain't no better time right now to, if you're a comic book fan, than seeing all this just laid bare right in front of you. Like, Kevin Feige here, just give him a printing press, some of those fiber sheets, and the right color, and just let him just continue printing money. It is a marvel to behold, basically. So,
wow.
But yeah, that was episode 4, man. Unless do you have anything else from this that I did not see? I know you do.
So you see the TVA behind him. It's clearly drawn a certain way. The pink lines behind the 3 in the wall. It feels like that's trying to shape something. I looked at Kang the Conqueror. I looked at every type of picture of his helmet, his body, his suit, etc. And I go back to Galactus, but it's not Galactus because there's supposed to be points on his head, so it doesn't. Kind of looks like it, but it's not at all. I'm like, what does that symbolize? Like, it has to symbolize something to me, right? Or am I just overthinking it? It's just color.
I mean, that's honestly, I think they put a lot. Like you said, it could be everything and it could be nothing when it comes to any little thing that we see in these episodes.
I hope it symbolizes something, that's all.
I mean,
if I don't know what it is, I hope it does.
I'm looking at it. It's not really. It's just, you have a square, and then you have part of a square, and then you have part of a square. I don't know. Like, it could. There's thought that it could be the Living Tribunal. Again, it's got the 3 heads.
Right.
He is the overseer of the multiverse. I don't know, man. I mean,
probably nothing.
These were machines. Like, maybe that's when you turn on the knob. This is where the little characters, traced back and forth as they were, going along their pathways. I don't know. Like,
yeah, they're your Chuck E. Cheese animatronics.
Oh my gosh.
Put the use for Celebration Station.
Yeah. But yeah, like, I mean, it could be everything and it could be nothing. That's the crazy thing about these episodes, that, like, again, people are picking it apart for what it may, but we will see. It could just be a random design. This looks cool. Because it does look kind of cool. But yeah, if it were like runes or whatever, or like some type of like ancient type of characters and stuff, boy, you want to talk about analytics, like going in and diving in and trying to figure out what is this meaning, why is this here, etc., or whatever. So who knows?
What does it all mean?
Yeah, what does it all mean? But anything else other than that?
Just researching Jonathan Majors, an actor. He's gonna be he's going to be King the Conqueror. So it's happening. It's just a matter of when and how they put it together. And so far, the story is looking pretty freaking sweet as far as that goes. I'm gonna love how they piece all the movies together for future movies, Phase 4, Phase 5, etc. Like, I know the mutants thing, like X-Men and Fantastic Four, which they've confirmed they're going to do it, of course.
Yeah.
It's just that's later on. I like the build-up of a big villain, which is King the Conqueror. You have Young Avengers, you're gonna have Dark Avengers, you're gonna have Secret Avengers, which you pretty much already had. It's gonna be Every episode so far has been great. I like the end of episode 3 better, just because I was kind of confused with the whole multiple Lokis. I understand they're multiverses, but I love the way they ended episode 3. The way they're like screwed. They're like, oh crap, how do we get out of this? But not saying 4 is worse or better than 3. It's just the ending part of it. So that caught me by freaking surprise when I thought they killed Loki again. I was like, again? What the heck?
Mm-hmm.
But Sylvie's a badass. She could freaking fight. I
Yeah.
think better than Loki.
Yeah.
But it makes sense because she's been running from them forever.
Yeah.
That's how she grew up, from a kid to now, hiding in all these thousands of apocalypses across the timeline and multiple universes. So.
Oh, sure. Well,
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Loki's power is, he's master of illusion projection. With that ability, you're less likely inclined to have to resort to hand-to-hand combat as much as Sylvie does. Like Sylvie, you have to be physically touching the person and hopefully have the person have a weak mind in order to enchant them. In a lot of ways, she would probably have to like kick a little butt first in order to do that. But like every episode to me, like keeps building and getting better. Like it keeps building upon itself and getting better. Like yes, episode 3 had a pretty good ending. This one had so many like strings cut. You had Mobius pruned. You had, the turn of B-15. You had what apparently was Loki pruned. And then you had the multiverse Lokis just like, hey, come with us. Which blows my mind as to like, where are they going to go? And then are there going to be more? And also, I mean, even the start of it, I'm still intrigued and trying to figure out why they all of a sudden pulled this little girl out of her palace who literally she was just playing there with her little boat and her little Fenris, and that was it. And so I really think that there are a little more devious happenings going on that Ravonna is aware of. Again, she is very cagey when it comes to a lot of the stuff that she was talking about in this episode. Like the obviously she was keeping the variant away from everyone because I think she knows what her powers actually do. Like obviously people were speculative as to how she's transferring her conscience from one person to another, but she probably knows the inner workings of it. And I think she knows that because, if she is indeed, working behind the scenes with Kang the Conqueror, I'm sure that he's come across her a couple of times and probably knows of her, being the time master that he is. So, there's so much to unravel in this episode. It was so good. Again, I am so bummed that it's only like 50 minutes long. I'm definitely going to have a sit down and a rewatch of this entire series in its entirety, probably in August. Because in August there's no real Marvel property. The next one after Black Widow is Shang-Chi. So that's in September. Oh, is that in August?
August 2021, yeah.
August 20th? Okay, well then, never mind then. I'm sure like I'll be able to squeeze in some time to do some stuff there. So, and and that's the thing too, is like what ifs can be standalone. Like that's one of the things that I do like about what ifs, but when it comes to the MCU connected tissue, you can literally like, you know, never mind those unless they're somehow incorporating all this madness into the what ifs, which would be an interesting way of going about it. You know, all these.
That's what it did with Animatrix.
Yeah, yeah. But you know,
just saying from an animated standpoint.
No, yeah, no, totally. Like Animatrix was lore though.
Right.
This, like, again, what ifs have always been like what ifs. Like they're just a what if scenario. Two guys are at a bar, they're talking. You know, hey, you know, what if this happened instead of this? And like, oh, comic book came up. It would be interesting to see if these what if stories do tie back into all the explosions that have occurred that were caused by Sylvie. You know, because there is a what if Peggy Carter had become Captain America, and one of the temporal bombs have been set off right around that time. So, you know, we'll see. Anyway, that is our Loki episode 4 review. I give that sucker like, you know, 90 popcorn kernels out of 100, maybe 95. It was so good. Again, like my only drawback is that it's only 50 minutes. You know, and if that's your only drawback, you know it's a good thing. How's the concession stands for you, sir?
Well, let's see. My pretzel was well salted, not too much, just right, and the cheese was warm for me to dip it in. It was good.
Wow,
it's very good.
All right. Very cool. Well, that's the end of our Loki episode 4 segment. We got one more segment tonight, and that is the Broview's Top 10 Royal Rumble Thursday Breview, Birthday Breview Royal Rumble stuff. Goodness gracious. I'm going to come up with an official title of that thing one day. Well, those of you new to this segment, we pick out this week's birthdays. We take the actors and take one of the characters that they're, you know, maybe not most known for, but probably one that would stand the test of a Royal Rumble fight. We put them all together in one big ring and see who comes out the victor. We've had several ties. We've had a tie between two gods. Would it be two gods, or would it be a tie between God? Because technically they were both God. They weren't like gods.
Or what Alanis Morissette and what's his name?
And Morgan Freeman.
Morgan Freeman,
yeah. I don't know. And then, last week, didn't we have, I want to say we had Nick Pratt winning it all, but then all of a sudden, like, something happened at the very end. Chris Pratt. God, did I say Nick Pratt? Golly. It's a little later than normal. My son stayed up late, so we started a little later than normal. But this week, starting on June 27, we have Tobey Maguire. His birthday's come up. You know,
famous for hitting home runs.
No, stop that. You have Web Slinger Spider-Man, Sam Raimi Spider-Man. June 28th, we have Elon Musk.
The real Tony Stark right now.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm still waiting for him to come out with a suit of armor. And Mel Brooks, better known as Yogurt.
Use the Schwartz.
That's right. He's got the Schwartz with him. Nothing for June 29th. June 30th was Mike Tyson's birthday. I mean,
you want to fight me? You want to fight me?
There was a tiger in the bathroom. What do you want? And Vincent D'Onofrio.
Oof, I gotta search that one.
Which you can either take as Private Pile, or you could take him as Kingpin.
Shazam. Oh, I was thinking of the actual Gomer Pyle.
Full Metal Jacket Holmes.
Shazam. Yeah, I remember.
Full Metal Jacket Holmes.
Yeah, I'll go Kingpin just because he doesn't kill himself.
Yeah. July 1st, we have me.
Oh no!
Throwing
Go back to
myself into the
Vincent. Vincent is gonna be the guy from Jurassic World.
No. That
Who
dude
wants to take over?
That dude totally gets
eaten up. Those raptors.
He totally gets eaten up at the end of one of those movies. That's funny.
He's not a Toronto fan after that movie.
No. He's. I can't even go on with a joke about that. July 1st, me. Let's do that again. And Pamela Anderson. She could be CJ running along the beach, or she could be the hero Barbed Wire.
That movie's terrible.
Well, you just watched it to see Pamela Anderson in her glory. July 2nd. Margot Robbie.
That's another movie. You just watch her to see in her glory.
Yeah, Suicide Squad wasn't that great.
What are we? Some sort of Suicide Squad?
She will be Harley Quinn. And finally, on July 3rd of this week, we have Tom Cruise. Gosh, do we give him the F-16 along with his Maverick persona?
No, he gets the Day After Tomorrow.
Is he Jerry Maguire?
Or not
He's
Day
just
After
trying
Tomorrow.
to sign.
Okay.
He's trying to sign Troy Aikman the entire time. Yeah, totally Day After Tomorrow. He just keeps going. He is the alpha. He would just keep going back in time over and over.
That's what it's called, right? Day After Tomorrow?
Yeah.
No, it's not. It's not. No, it's not. It's not called that.
Tom
Cruise.
Live, Die, Repeat.
Live, Die, Repeat. Yeah, I was thinking of something else. Yeah.
The End of Tomorrow, whatever like that.
Oh, Edge of Tomorrow.
The Edge of Tomorrow. There you go. And then finally, we have the lovely Olivia Munn.
Aaron Rodgers' former love.
The former VJ of the Attack of the Show. She'll be Psylocke from X-Men Apocalypse. So we have all these contestants. We've thrown them in a ring. I'm pretty much just going to stand aside, eat my popcorn, and just watch everyone as I'm like just starstruck. And I'm just like rooting for like Tobey Maguire the entire time because I'm that big of a Spider-Man fan.
Wow.
But man, like, it wasn't until you said that. It wasn't until you selected Tom Cruise's character that I was like, well, Tom Cruise would win this, pretty much. Because if he's the alpha, he could literally die, repeat the same thing over and over again, figure out what he did wrong the last time, and eventually end up victorious. It would take a long time. But
right.
But
it would take him 14,605 times to get it right.
But I'm gonna throw a wild card.
Olivia Munn's
butt, along with Margot Robbie and Pamela Anderson. There's a lot of hotness in this week. The wild card being the unpredictability of Mike Tyson.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you just don't know, man. He can go off like a nuclear bomb practically. And I don't even know what Elon Musk has. Like,
He has the Iron Man suit.
how many Iron Man suit does he own? And
But the bad thing is he forgot to charge them all. He's still plugged in.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't have that arc reactor. Sorry.
Darn. Oh, yeah. The technology hasn't been invented yet.
Right.
Or maybe it has. God, that'd be crazy. What say you, brother?
I mean, honestly, I think it would be Spider-Man or Tom Cruise.
Well, that would be
Spider-Man,
I mean, yeah,
Tobey Maguire.
it's totally Spider-Man. He always gets up. But again, with Tom Cruise constantly repeating Groundhog Day over and over again, he would find a way to subvert.
Yeah, it has to be
Tobey
Tom
Maguire.
Cruise. Yeah, it's got to be.
Well, we've made our selection. The winner of this week, after an arduous few weeks of live, die, repeat, literally, is the Scientologist Tom Cruise. Man.
Oh, man. Never mind. Let's go back.
I'm taking that back. That's a penalty right there.
Flag
Oh
on the play.
Now the league will just send a letter of apology to the other team and be like, unfortunately, we can't do anything about it. We'll just send a fine to Tom Cruise. Yeah, there you go. We'll flag him next week or whatever. But yep, that is our show, episode 19. Again, Loki part 4. We got part 5 coming next week. And man, we're gonna start hitting it hot and heavy. I don't know, maybe next week. I don't know. Are you going to be able to, brother?
Tomorrow's War.
I mean, Tomorrow's War. I thought Tomorrow's War comes out the 19th.
Oh yeah, way after. Never mind.
Yeah.
When does that come out?
The final.
I thought it was the second.
That's the final trailer.
The final trailer comes out.
I mean,
too soon.
I guess.
When is it actually being released, bro?
The 19th.
No.
Of July.
It says initial release is July 2nd, 2021. So, yeah, that's going to be on Friday. It's Friday. But now it says in Indonesia, July 21st. What the heck, dude? What the? I guess we'll find out. Tomorrow, okay, the Tomorrow War, I keep calling it Tomorrow is War. The Tomorrow War is on Amazon Prime Video on Friday, July 2nd, 2021.
Well, we got a lot to do next week then.
Oh boy.
We are going to have that. We're going to have Loki Part 5. And then
good.
The week after, we have Black Widow, which I'm already starting to hear some good reviews about. Where did I get that date from? July 19th.
No, July 21st it's released in Indonesia. Which I don't know why you'd bring up. So
I think we pushed it back because we were going to do a Loki show and then Black Widow.
We must go back.
We were going to do a Stuber show. Don't know what happened to that.
I didn't watch it.
That's, yeah.
I didn't have time.
It's 90 minutes. Anyway.
Don't worry, Dave Bautista. You're still family. We'll get to you.
Greek side's gonna punch you out.
Wow.
All right then. Yeah. So next week, I guess the first things first. Then we got the first part of the week. If you're game, if you got time, Tomorrow's War, and then Thursday. We got a little Loki episode 5 coming at you guys. Oh, I can't wait for that. I still can't wait for that. Because
I hope, man, because at the end of every series so far, it's been like not a, I mean, especially with WandaVision, but even with Falcon, it's like, let's keep going up. Don't stay stable. You know what I mean? Like in stocks or a hill, if you're running on, you want to keep burning more calories by going on a slope, right? I want to keep going that direction. I don't want it to be just, okay, now we hit a baseline, you're just going to continue on. You know what I'm saying? I hope it keeps going up. So,
okay.
You don't get what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying. Again, like, WandaVision's leading into Doctor Strange next year. Like, that's the culmination of that series. Falcon Winter Soldier, I don't know where that's going to go, to be honest.
Or Hammer.
Really? I'm trying to think where Falcon and or Captain America and Winter Soldier is going to get started. Because now we're going to a lot more fantastical stuff, a lot more cosmic, a lot more celestial stuff, and they're very ground-based, earth-based heroes. So
Still need to watch the new post-credit scene for WandaVision because they have a new one. Did you know that?
No, they just fine-tuned it. That's what I read.
Oh, they did? Oh,
yeah.
Okay. I thought they changed up. They could like had a whole different scene.
No, they fine-tuned it a bit just to add some items to it and make a little more sense how it's going to fit in with the Doctor Strange movie. And there was actually some like post-production editing that a lot of, again, people are dissecting these things like, oh my gosh, they should go and be like morticians or something like that, because
or detectives,
or criminal investigators, because they are literally picking these things apart almost cell by cell, and you're just like, dang man, like that's crazy.
Yeah, there's big YouTube channels that like literally only watch the show or movie in 0.25 to catch every little detail.
Yeah, I mean, if I totally had the time, like I'd watch it through one time and then I'd immediately watch it again and then start taking it apart piece by piece. But again, like sometimes it's better not to know how the sausage is made. That's just my humble opinion. Especially because, when it comes to being surprised, I'm definitely one of those people who, I don't want to dig too far deep because then I'll spoil the surprise for myself. So, What? That's how we watch TV shows nowadays. Like, we go in, we go in, we take it all apart, and then we hope for things, to be better or worse later on. Or we binge the whole dang thing, and then we're sad after there's nothing to watch after the fact, and you have to wait whole, great season to get the next installments of stuff. So I like how the MCU has been putting their stuff out, on this schedule. It allows for, again, you to enjoy the steak, talk about it after the fact. It gives people time to, be creative, put out their own content regarding that stuff, like we do as well.
Reheat your leftovers.
Yeah, man. I mean, you could watch it again and be like, "Oh, I totally didn't catch this thing last time," or whatever. I mean, there's definitely pros and cons to both when it comes to, how you want to ingest it, digest it, regress it, whatever. But anyway, that is a topic for another time. This is episode 19, Loki Part 4, for my brother Joshua Henderson. I am Charlie Zarzuela. This is the Movie Broview. Go grab some popcorn and watch a movie.
For all time.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.